So AC on pretty high in here.
Cool.
Man.
Irregardless if the heat
Irregardless, I'm going to try to get through this press conference. Chill out, Malik.
You guys good, or?
Yeah, we were irregardless is a word. I Googled it. You say it's not. It's in Google and has actually an example of how it's used. So,
No,
yeah.
what about Webster?
See the fun things we get to talk about when we win? What we got?
All right, I'll ask you a question. So, asked AD about this too, but 23 of his 25 attempts tonight were in the paint.
Yep.
And I just wanted to know if you sort of saw a trend the way that he came out aggressively, and if you said anything, or if that was just kind of his mindset and his mentality tonight.
That's been the plan, and just trying to figure out how to get him more touches, get him more in the rhythm, especially with Bron not being out there. Just like I'm asking Russ to spearhead that second group coming off the bench. For AD, he has to be the one to spearhead our starting group. And I thought he did that. I mean, just everything was aggressive to the rim, and I told him, don't settle. It's twofold. Like, not only does he get going in his comfort zone and his kill zone, but he puts so much pressure on the defense that, we have opportunity to get in the bonus early, and takes a lot of pressure, puts pressure on their defense, takes pressure off our guys some when they drive the ball aggressively and they're able to get to the free throw line. So, and hopefully get themselves going with their strokes. So he's been a monster, and he's carried us, and he did so tonight, and actually played a lot of great defense, picked up a lot of huge rebounds. So I'm happy for him. He's in a really good rhythm and a really good mental space as well.
Darvin, what's it been like coaching AD? And this was a season high in both points and rebounds. What parts of tonight's game plan with him can apply to moving forward?
I mean, all of it. I mean, just his attention to detail in terms of guarding Durant. Again, him being proactive, wanting the ball, just every time recalling his own play. And I think you saw it tonight, man. It's been a joy. He's a great kid to come and see every day, and to have to call this work should be illegal. I mean, he's been nothing but fun and joy, and had a real good conversation with him after our last game, our last loss. And he just said, I got your back, coach. And that was huge for me, being a first-time head coach and having a player of that magnitude, just constantly just trying to do everything you ask him to do and try to set that example for his teammates as well. And it's been the same way with Bron and Russ, Pat Bev. All of those guys have really banded together. And I think the last 48 hours, I saw them step up vocally, and just really the communication level. You see Brown up on the sidelines coaching up his teammates and all of that. We need all of that. That's what our culture needs to be about.
Darvin, AD was joking that he was inspired by the Packers game, but then maybe he wasn't joking because he brought it up 2 or 3 times.
Right. He's a huge Packers fan, for sure.
I mean, he is different when he's coming out as aggressive as he did tonight. Is there anything you guys can start doing a little bit more pregame so you get that kind of aggressiveness every single night? I
mean, it's just a matter of, being efficient and keeping them in a good physical space. When your body's feeling good, you're not hurting, you tend to feel good, and your game shows how good you feel, and that's been the case for him. And it's right on time. We have 4 days now before our next game, 5 days, something like that. And we're going to take good advantage of this time, but also, again, like we always try to do, we're going to be efficient with how long we practice, how much we practice, give these guys the right amount, and refill our cups up and get ready to do it again. But we have a lot of time now to address ourselves and individually our bodies, and making sure we're trying to get and be as whole as possible. And AD is right at the top of that list. He's been doing his due diligence, nutrition-wise, workout-wise, staying on top of his body, and I think you're seeing it in his performance.
Never seen the Antonio Freeman catch, so maybe you just play that before the next game.
That's big time. And, and he'd love Matt LaFleur, too. Shout out to Matt. That's my guy. He's a cool dude. And so, hopefully I get to introduce those two once at some point.
Darvin, obviously a lot of attention on how you guys finish halves after last game. tonight, especially in the fourth quarter. How did you like the group that essentially iced it for you? And then as sort of an ancillary question to that, how important was Lonnie kind of taking his own shots and being aggressive on the offensive end to that group?
Well, the biggest thing, one of the things we talked about was, executing and being organized, being more organized as the game wears on, understanding time, score, momentum, what we want to get, giving ourselves a chance to get to the specific things we want to get to, and not what we've been doing is just coming down random, looking, probing, and now the shot clock may be down to 12 or 11, and now we're trying to call a play, or the guys finally see they have nothing on their own and they're backing out, but by that time we're playing against a dwindling shot clock. So to flip that order, we slowed them down, me specifically, to get us into something, get us into a set, see what's working, and milk it. But to make sure we're organized first, proper spacing, proper people in the action, and then go from there. And now they take away the first option, second option. Now, ball is swung, you be aggressive, you go off field at that point. But you don't initiate it like that because you'll never be able to get organized. So I thought our organization on the offensive side of the ball was much, much, much better. And that's something we definitely have to sustain and continue to build on.
Darvin, Kevin Durant talked about how much he enjoys these matchups with Russ, with Anthony Davis. And you've seen them from various spots over the years, but not in the position that you sit in now. What was that like for you?
Scary, man. Kev is one of those guys that just he can do it to you on his own. We were fortunate back when I was in Milwaukee, and he just wore a shoe size too big. But I've seen it firsthand, man. And his I think something that never gets talked about really is how durable he is, and how he can play at a high level for it. I mean, the game I just referenced when I was in Milwaukee, he played a full 53 minutes, regulation and overtime, and then to see him out there tonight. Man, I almost panicked when I saw him check back into the game to shoot the technical, because he can run it all. He can run off. He scores in bunches. He has a killer mentality. He's one of those rare guys, man. Like once he gets going, like I put Bron in that bucket. Kobe. Steph Curry. He's the one of those. Like where it's just you let him get a rhythm and you're in for a long ride. So to see it and have to coach against him in this seat, I'm honored whenever I get a chance to compete against him, because I know he's going to give the people their money's worth, and he's going to scare the hell out of you when you're coaching against him.
Darvin, looking ahead to this 4-day break coming up, it's your longest break of the season aside from the All-Star break. What is your focus going to be with the group, and how can you take some of this momentum from tonight, I guess, and kind of keep it going for these next few days?
Well, we'll take tomorrow off. Tuesday will be what we call a combo day, where we bring guys in individually. They get what they need out of the weight room. They work individually with our coaches. And at the end of those individual workouts, we'll bring them all together and touch something defensively and script a little bit short and sweet. And they'll all be timed out, and then get right back to practice, film and practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and get ready for Detroit on Friday. But again, focusing on us. How can we get better? Look at this film from this game, clips from previous games, do a compare and contrast, and just keep building, man. Keep building. We have 69 games left now. Like, there's more than enough time. And what I saw today, and based off what the last couple of days have been like, it's super duper encouraging. I think guys are really starting to realize like what we can do when we're all on the same page and we're pulling in the same direction.
Last one, man. Actually, I have two quick ones. Lonnie now, I think, is basically, with the exception of 3 games, been a pretty consistent 15, at least 15, but the numbers are better than that. How important has that been for what you guys are doing offensively, especially without Russ? His offense to the punch and that first unit.
Really, he's huge because he can initiate plays as well as be on the receiving end or something that we're putting together offensively. And just his athleticism, his ability to keep constant pressure on the rim. He's got a mid-range game. He can shoot threes, and definitely a 3-level scorer. and what he's doing defensively. He gives you a spark there, being able his ability to chase down and block shots, get steals. He's just an electrifying player, young player, and I love having him in our fold. And bless you, he's been nothing short of amazing, and I just I'm looking forward to him just continuously getting better.
And you've used him a lot on kind of like the most dynamic wing scorer. You've used Troy in that situation. Why Pat tonight on KD?
Just the moxie, just his experience of guarding guys on that level, and his physicality. You know, trying to be. I mean, he picked up I think he ended with 5 fouls tonight, 4, something like that. But just his ability to crawl up into guys and you know, irritate them a little bit, change his angle, mix up different things. Pat is a wise veteran in that way, and he has the respect of the officials to where, you know, although he had 5 fouls, but they're not just going to be calling ticky-tack. They're going to let him guard people. And, you know, that's why we signed him. One of the many reasons why he signed him. And he's one of those guys that's going to step up and say, no, I got him. Like, he loves that challenge. So I thought he was wonderful tonight. And all of them. Russell guarded him some. Troy guarded him some. AD guarded him some. You know, no one man is going to shut down Kevin Durant. You just got to try to irritate him and make it as uncomfortable as possible, you know, make it difficult for him to get those clean looks.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Russ, I wanted to ask you about AD tonight. A vast majority of his shots came in the paint. Just seemed like he was really aggressive. Did you notice any mindset shift of him or just any additional aggression? And when you saw him so effective inside, is that just as a guard, does that make you double down, want to make sure to get him the ball in those spots?
Just playing his game. I think whatever he did different, you might ask him. I'm not sure, but it was good to see him be aggressive tonight.
First of all, happy belated birthday to you.
Thanks, man.
You got it. The way Anthony, not just the numbers, but his approach, energy, demeanor, did you feel like that had any sort of effect on the team as a group?
Not sure. I do know overall, collectively, we had a better mindset, stick to the game plan tonight, which was beneficial for us.
Rachel.
Hey, Russ, now that you guys are the first chunk into the season, what feel do you have for the character of this year's particular squad?
I don't have that answer yet, but we kind of figure it out and see.
Russ, obviously after last game, you guys had some trouble closing out some halves last game. Did you feel, or what would you feel was some of the difference tonight in trying to keep on the lead in the periods you guys obviously led all game?
Just making the right reads.
Last one in the back. Russ, I don't recall if it was the third quarter or start of the fourth. You took a fall and you were slow to get up. I just wanted to double check. Was it just a normal fall? Anything bother you after that fall?
I'm all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah.